start out by talking a little bit about the mission of NRCS. And basically, we're providing leadership in a partnership effort to help people conserve, maintain, and improve our natural resources and the environment. As of just a few years ago, we changed that mission, and I just put in here, we help people help the land. And that's primarily what our mission is to help you help the land that you are own or maybe producing some type of crop on. We do that through conservation planning. Most of the efforts that we provide to landowners and to farmers is done through conservation planning. And not only do we provide conservation planning, but we also provide technical assistance to our clients. So there are opportunities sometimes to receive assistance from us that does not require some type of development of a conservation plan. Simply put, you may just need some type of technical assistance with whatever your concerns might be, and sometimes we're in a position to help you out with that. But basically, the client will develop and implement the plan to protect, conserve, and enhance natural resources, whether it be soil, water, air, plants, and animals that are within their socio and economic interest. So basically what that means is that we have a variety of different practices that we may offer to you. There's a cost associated with most of the practices that we have. And because your socio or economic conditions may not necessarily allow you to implement some of the more costly practices in some cases, we may offer a number of different practices that may help to address the same resource concern that may actually fall into whatever your economic capabilities might be, or financial capabilities. So try to offer more than just one option for addressing a particular problem. I'm just going to use this as an example, and I hope that I do remember to kind of talk about some of the programs as I go through this presentation, and feel free to ask me about any of the programs that I mentioned, because at the same time that I'm talking about conservation planning, I always try to take advantage of the opportunity to market what we do, to see if there are any needs that you may have that we can provide you some assistance with. So this example I'm going to use would be for nutrient management. We have a number of different options for someone as of today who would like some type of assistance with managing nutrients on their farm. Just last year we didn't have as many options available. I came to the state of Arkansas back in August of last year, and one of the things that I did was really beefed up our nutrient management efforts. Because I know that there's a need for a farmer who can afford the high input requirements of nutrient management. That would be someone who wants to use precision ag type technologies. But there are also those persons who are farming who cannot afford precision agriculture, but yet they still need assistance with respect to nutrient management. So there are different options in there. There are options in there for someone. I'm a firm believer in soil sampling, and you following a good, sound nutrient management plan that has recent soil samples in it. Well, there can be a cost associated with that. Though Arkansas samples soils for free at the state testing lab, there still can be a cost associated with going out there and collecting those samples. So I put a payment together for someone who wants to do what I call basic soil sampling, where you're going to go out and do randomized soil sampling and have a nutrient management plan developed based on what your soil test results will tell you, and the type of crop that you're planning on growing, and the yield goals that you have for that particular crop. It pays somewhere in the neighborhood of $6 or $7 an acre. There's an additional option, one for precision ag, for someone who can't afford the Cadillac type system for precision ag, but who wants to try precision agriculture as a part of their nutrient management for their farm. Well, they can do grid soil sampling. Grid soil sampling, I think, pays somewhere in the neighborhood of $9 or $10 an acre, maybe a little bit more. I don't have the payment schedule directly in front of me. But it gives you a chance to move to a higher level of nutrient management, and we provide you with some financial assistance to help you do so. And then there are those who are going to be considered your high-end managers. And those farmers are the ones who are able to afford the more expensive technologies for precision ag as it relates to nutrient management. And there's a payment in there that I believe pays $26 an acre. It's got some pretty nice requirements now. As I put the payments together, understand, I make sure as best I can it's not a giveaway program. So as I put the payment together with the higher payment option, I put more restrictions in place because I want to make sure you're carrying out those practices at that higher level. But that's just an example of how we try to make options that hopefully will fall into someone's economic situation. You all have the same goal. In this case, you want some type of help with nutrient management, but if we only have one or two options, perhaps it's not the one for you. Perhaps it may be too high of a bar for you. So we put several options in there, or perhaps it's something that you're already doing, and so you're not eligible for that particular practice, so you need a higher level of management. With the conservation planning, not only does this help you, the farmer, but the planning process also helps us, the planner, and we're trying to accomplish a number of things. Of course, one of our biggest driving factors is we're trying to protect natural resources, and we use the incentives that we offer you, as an example, nutrient management, helping to pay you to manage those nutrients, as a way of assuring that those resources are being protected as best we can. We want to conserve and also enhance natural resources. So in some cases, we're not necessarily just trying to benefit your production system itself, but there are also times where we're putting in practices that will enhance, as an example, wildlife. So we have to look at a number of different things when we're putting a plan together. And so by us working with you and you working with us and us getting input from you, it helps us to develop that plan that hopefully creates a better balance between what man does on the land and what Mother Nature requires. We design alternatives that may meet local resource quality criteria and identify resource issues. So in a perfect world, we look at what's a local resource concern for your county. And the plans have to contain the natural resource information and a record of the decisions that are made by the manager or the landowner. So basically, the plan has to have all of the resource concerns that were identified that you are wanting to have addressed, as well as the decisions that you have made as to how you plan on addressing those resource concerns. That's going to be put into your plan. The plan will also describe the schedule of operations and activities needed to solve and identify those natural resource concerns. So as a part of your agreement, you're going to have a schedule of implementation developed, meaning that you're going to identify when you plan on carrying out the different practices that you have agreed to adopt for your operation. The plan helps to ensure that the needs of the manager and the natural resources are met, and that federal, state, and local requirements will also be achieved. So basically, with that plan, all of the requirements that are necessary for each individual practice to be implemented should be in that plan. And that plan has to be based on whatever federal guidance we have to follow, as well as any state guidance that may be developed for that particular practice. And in some cases, there are local requirements. One that might come to mind would be when we're dealing with some of the water quality issues that are related to the disposal of animal waste. In some instances, there are some local requirements that are put in place, and the producer has to adhere to those particular requirements. And so what we try to do as best we can is make sure that all of the federal requirements are integrated into that plan, as well as whatever state requirements, whether it be from the state office of NRCS or from the state government of Arkansas, but also any local requirements for a particular area. So we try to make sure that we're integrating all of those requirements into the plan, because we want to make sure that not only you're staying in compliance with us, but if there are some type of regulatory compliance issues that are involved with your planning activity, we want to make sure that we help you to meet those requirements.